wunderschönen guten Abend, Moinsen und Salut allerseits bei Rock. Wir sind mal wieder rausgegangen, sind in Hamburg und haben einen wunderbaren Gast zu meiner Seite sitzen, John Frusciante. Hello, sir. Welcome. How are you?
Very good.
Very good.
Happy.
Okay. So, I got the feeling when I prepared the interview that there are at least about 100 things to talk about, but I know that we just got about 20 minutes doing an interview. And I could say, hey, John Frusciante, he's guitar player, Red Hot Chili Peppers, got a solo album, but I think that's dumb, and that's not what the people want to know. And that's what, not what...
Well, that's what they already know.
Yeah, right. And there are a lot of people and kids outside who don't know your story. And I think it's a very interesting story, because otherwise you wouldn't be the man you are sitting here right now. So if it's okay, I'd like to spend some minutes in the past, in the history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you say the past, how far do you... When you
okay. Okay.
Everything up to now is the past. So.
Yeah, that's right. I think let's start at the age of 20. You joined the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Maybe
I joined at 18.
At 18?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, when I was 18, I joined the Chili Peppers, and they were my favorite group at the time. But it took me about 2 years to sort of realize that all I really cared about was art and dedicating myself to being the best musician I could be. The first couple of years I was in the Chili Peppers, it was more about like getting tattoos and coloring my hair and, you know, presenting a certain image to people, going out after girls and that kind of thing. And at a certain point I realized that that making beautiful music and being a good guitar player was what I was here for, you know. And from there things started to fall into place. But unfortunately, because I took so long to get started on living that way, I ended up having to take about a 6-year detour at one point, just in order to straighten everything out inside myself, you know. So that's when I quit the band after I'd been in the band for 4 years, just because the places I was going inside myself wasn't in sync with where the band was at. So
after Blood Sugar Sex Magic was recorded and released, you left the Chili Peppers during the Japan tour. What was the reason for you to say, now, okay, I'm out of it? I think you weren't aware of the things you just said at that moment. Is that right? You know them now, but at that point...
I didn't see it at that point as being a detour. At that point it was just, there had been voices in my head just badgering me for like, ever since we'd finished recording Blood Sugar Sex Magic, saying, it's time to quit. Quit now. Quit now. Now's the time. Quit. To be honest, the first time I heard a voice in my head tell me it, I was on a bus on Ventura. I remember exactly. I was on a bus in Ventura. Actually, I don't remember where I was going, but there's a street in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles called Ventura, and I was just sitting there on the bus, probably going to a record store or something, and a voice said, now listen, when you're older, you're going to be in a band, and you're going to be famous, and you're going to have to quit. And you're going to have to be really successful, and then you're just going to have to quit. And if you quit early enough, then we can promise you that things are going to go really well and smooth. If you wait too long to quit, you're going to have a kind of a hard time, but you're still going to get back, and you're still going to be all right. But you're going to have about 6 years that are going to be really hard. And that's what happened. I ended up, when I could have quit at the end of Blood Sugar, when I knew touring wasn't going to go with what I was going through on the inside. I knew that touring was going to make me just decay as a person. I knew touring was just going to make me fall apart. But I did it anyways, and I saw myself falling apart. And when I had completely fallen apart inside, and at that, I remember in Japan, right before I quit, I was saying to my guitar tech, I was like, he's like, you're a great guitar player. And I said, yeah, I used to be a great guitar player. I didn't think I was a great guitar player. I thought I had lost everything inside myself, you know? And so I just said, the voices were right. I should have quit way back then. Now nobody in the band's getting along anymore. Everybody, you know, like, nobody's having a good time with each other. Everybody feels bad about themselves. It's like...
all was bad and all...
Yeah, there was no... I was making everybody feel bad about themselves at that point. I made it... Because I didn't like the whole because I wasn't in tune with the whole being a rock star and all that stuff. I made everybody else feel bad about being rock stars, and they had something to be proud of because they'd been working really hard at trying to be a popular band for a long time, and now we were a popular band. And right when they had something to be proud of, I was making them like feel guilty about it or something, as if there was something evil about it. And there was nothing wrong with being a rock star. It just didn't gel with where I was at inwardly at the time, you know. So in Japan, it was like the voices said, "See, we were right. You know, you've fallen apart now. Touring's really done its job on you. Now, will you please quit now? Well, so we can get on with this, you know." And once I quit, I had a brief period of severe sadness where I couldn't do anything. I couldn't listen to music. I couldn't do anything. But then I had about 4 years of fun time where really I didn't have any purpose in life other than to write in my notebooks, trip myself out, learn about artists, learn about painting. And the things that I learned over that period of time are, I mean, I couldn't live without them. The knowledge that I've gained from really going inside of myself, I've made concrete a sort of an understanding of other dimensions and other planes of existence where people are who have lived a life on this planet, but who live through people on this planet and go through frequent other dimensions. And I have the understanding of that I wanted to have, you know, 8 years ago, but didn't have the time to really figure it out.
To have the feeling that everything you do turns out evil and makes everybody feel harm, that must be very, very, very hard.
It was bad because I know that, and I've always known that my object in the world is to make people feel good. I mean, that's what I do for a living, you know.
I think you do.
And I'm so proud of that. But whenever it's hurting somebody, it's very disrupting inside me. Like if I'm on stage and, you know, the monitor person makes my guitar too loud and it's hurting Flea's ears, it just kills me. I mean, I can't play. I can't. If my notes I'm playing are hurting somebody,
We watch a video now, then we're back talking on.
What video? Depeche Mode?
Depeche Mode. Somebody? Is that okay?
Somebody's great.
Somebody's great. Depeche Mode with Somebody. Willkommen zurück. Hier mit John Frusciante im Hyatt in Hamburg.
Martin Gore, who is singing that song, he's my favorite star in the world. I wrote him a letter because I'm going to send him my new record, and I wrote him, "You're my favorite star in the world." Oh no, I wrote that to Dave Gahan. Never mind. Martin Gore is just my favorite songwriter in the world. I don't know. He hasn't heard it yet, but I'm going to send it to him.
Okay. Are you going to send it?
He lives in Santa Barbara now, pretty close to LA, and I know a couple of people.
Okay, I want to continue at the time when you recorded your second album, "Smile from the Streets You Hold."
Yeah.
So, if you...
Well, that album wasn't really recorded as an album. It was put together as leftover stuff that I had done years before.
Okay, I think at that time you must have felt really, really, really dead, and you don't care about what do you think kept you alive? What gave you the will to keep on? Can you imagine what it was, or was it